my mother-in-law said at my final fitting. Then she spilled red wine all over it. The consultant gasped and grabbed towels while Diane just stood there with a satisfied smile on her face. Red wine spread across my white dress like blood, and I felt like I was watching it happen in slow motion. The consultant's hands were shaking as she pressed towels against the fabric. We need to treat this immediately. I couldn't move or think or breathe. The wedding was in 3 weeks, and my dream dress was turning pink right in front of me. Diane squeezed my shoulder, and her touch made every nerve in my body scream. At least it happened now and not on your wedding day, right? The way she said it made my skin crawl. Let me take you to the best cleaner. I'll pay for everything. The consultant tried to speak, but Diane talked right over her. I insist. I know the perfect place. Diane hummed along to the radio while I sat frozen in the passenger seat trying not to cry. My chest felt so tight I thought I might pass out. She drove past one bridal cleaner, then another, then a third. Each time we passed one, this voice in my head got louder, screaming that something was wrong. I wanted to tell her to stop the car, but I couldn't get the words out. Why was she driving so far? Why wouldn't she use the cleaners the bridal shop recommended? At the shop Diane picked, a woman named Stella took my dress to the back while Diane stayed up front scrolling through her phone like she hadn't just destroyed the most important dress I'd ever own. I sat there staring at her, watching her act so completely unbothered, and I felt this wave of anger I'd never felt before. How could she be so calm right now? When Stella came back, she had this expression on her face that made my heart sink into my stomach. She pulled me into the back room and closed the door behind us. I need to be completely honest with you about what I'm seeing here. She laid my dress out under the bright lights and I could barely look at it. This damage looks intentional. Someone weakened the fabric before the wine even touched it. The room tilted and I had to grab the table to steady myself. I've seen sabotage before and this is sabotage. She glanced toward the front where Diane was sitting. Don't say anything to her yet. Let me see what I can do to fix it. I felt like I was going to throw up the entire drive home. When I told my fiancé Lucas that night, he looked at me like I was losing my mind and it made me want to scream. My mom has been weird about the wedding planning, but she wouldn't sabotage your dress. That's insane. His voice cracked and I could see the panic in his eyes. I grabbed both of his hands so hard my fingers hurt. Lucas, the cleaner told me someone damaged the fabric on purpose before the wine touched it. She went completely white. We need proof before we can accuse her of something like this. Diane called me first thing the next morning, sounding way too cheerful, and it made my blood run cold. I couldn't sleep at all last night thinking about your poor dress. I found you a replacement and it's the same designer and everything. Let me buy it for you. My heart started racing. You found an exact replacement in one night? She laughed like this was all so easy. I know people in the industry, sweetie. Lucas and I went to look at the dress that afternoon, and the second I saw it, I knew. Wrong style, cheaper fabric, wrong size. Lucas asked when the order was placed, and the consultant went pale looking at her screen. This was ordered 6 days ago. I thought I was going to be sick. 6 days before my fitting. 3 days before she spilled the wine. She'd planned all of this. Lucas called my original bridal shop, and his voice was shaking so badly he could barely get the words out. Do you have any records from her fitting appointment? The manager pulled up the appointment notes and read them to us over the phone. The consultant had stepped away for 90 seconds to grab supplies. When she came back, something seemed off about my dress, but she couldn't figure out what. After the wine spill, she found small tears in the fabric under the stains. Diane had been alone with my dress. She'd done something to it and then covered it up with wine. That night, Lucas called his mom and put her on speaker. The bridal shop has records, Mom. You were alone with her dress. Silence. Then her voice went cold. That dress made her look cheap. I did her a favor. Stella saved my dress. On my wedding day, Lucas's dad sat alone crying in the front row. At the reception, Diane texted me. Lucas blocked her before I could read it.